By the time episode 4 begins, Tuscany's been living in fear for nearly 2 decades. 8 young couples have been brutally murdered, their bodies mutilated in almost ritualistic fashion. The press is in a frenzy, the police are exhausted, and Assistant DA Sylvia is still chasing leads that always seem to circle back to the same few names. This episode focuses on Salvatore Vinci, a man whose entire life is wrapped in violence, manipulation, and toxic masculinity. Through flashbacks, we see how his upbringing in 1950s Sardinia shaped him. Salvatore is secretly in love with his friend Sasa, but his father is obsessed with manhood and forces him to prove he is a real man by getting married. People are already whispering that Salvatore might not be normal. When Sasa's sister Barbarina rejects him, Salvatore's father pushes him to take her, and Salvatore rapes her. Barbarina ends up marrying him anyway and gives birth to their child, with Sasa still living in the house. The situation becomes unbearable. Barbarina finally confronts both men, calling them out and threatening to expose their relationship. A year later, she's dead. Everyone says suicide, but the show makes it clear Salvatore likely killed her after accusing her of cheating. By 1960, Salvatore leaves Sardinia and moves to Tuscany, renting a room from Stefano and Barbara Mele. And that's where things get even darker. He starts a sexual relationship with Stefano, while also terrorizing Barbara. When she catches them, he threatens her into silence. At one point, both men force Barbara into disturbing encounters. When she gets pregnant, Salvatore leaves but tells her she still belongs to him. Years later, in 1968, Barbara Locci reconnects with Salvatore. That same night, Barbara goes to the movies with her other lover, Antonio Lobianco, and her son, Natalino. Outside, Salvatore and Stefano Mele are watching from the shadows. Salvatore goads Stefano into punishing her, saying she is cheating and deserves what's coming, just like his first wife. Stefano ends up pulling the trigger, killing both Barbara and Lobianco, then panics and runs away. Salvatore stays long enough to grab little Natalino and take him away before the police arrive. By 1974, Salvatore remarries a woman named Rosina, but that relationship turns abusive too. He forces her to sleep with other men for his pleasure until she finally escapes with their children. As the investigation unfolds in 1985, Rosina becomes a key witness. For years, she'd given Salvatore an alibi for the 1968 murder of Barbara and her lover Antonio Lobianco, the double killing that first started the monster's pattern. But under pressure, she admits the truth. Salvatore wasn't home that night. Even more damning, every time she left him, another monster killing happened. In 1985, the lawyers confront Salvatore with Rosina's confession. Soon after, another killing happens, this time a French couple camping in Scopeti. It's gruesome and it feels like the monster is escalating again. That's when Sylvia gets that horrifying package, the killer's way of taunting her directly. The DA's office arrests Salvatore, the evidence looks solid, every monster murder was committed with the same .22 Beretta 70, and only 11 of those guns existed in Salvatore's hometown. The one missing gun belonged to one of his relatives. On top of that, his history of violence, his connection to multiple victims, and his obsession with Barbara all make him look like the perfect suspect. During the 1988 trial, Stefano Mele is brought in to testify. He claims that Salvatore once admitted to killing his first wife, Barbarina, and staging it as a suicide, proof of what he's capable of. But when he's asked to repeat that in court, he suddenly becomes unsure, saying it's been too long and he can't remember clearly. Without solid testimony, the case falls apart and Salvatore walks free. After the trial, he disappears completely. The last confirmed sighting is in his hometown Villa Sidro. No more murders. The monster of Florence killing stopped right after. Coincidence or not, the show leaves that hanging. But the monster of Florence doesn't end with Salvatore's disappearance. In the final moments, an anonymous letter accuses a local farmer, Pietro Pacciani, of being the true monster, describing him as a violent man who once killed his girlfriend and keeps his wife and daughters locked inside his house. The letter says they need to question him and his family immediately because he might just be the real monster of Florence. That final scene changes everything. The letter makes it clear that Salvatore Vinci wasn't the end of the story, and that the real monster of Florence may have been more than just one man.